Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you a plugin called NIH Money Tree. This plugin originally was intended to rotate all farms and harvest every money tree that you have on every farm, but now it's mostly used to rotate farms and harvest those limited one building per farm buildings, like for example, like the bumper car or gas pump or Ferris wheels or even bunny hutch that you have for only one per farm. And for the demonstration purpose for this video, I have set up my last 5 farms to have one instant grow fountain and one bumper car, just to show you how this plugin NIH Money Tree will work to rotate every farm, to calculate the farm data for these two and how it works to harvest. First, you must install the plugin called NIH Money Tree from the FV Open Updater under third-party glitch plugins. Look for NIH Money Tree. Here you go. I already have mine installed. That's why it show repair. If it's showing green button installed, you need to click that green button and install it. Once it's installed, you need to go to the plugins site tab and refresh plugins and for it to show up. So let's look for NIH Money Tree. Then double click on it for it to open. Once the plugin is opened, then you have to first check to make sure that the plugin is set on the same account as your FV settings, and then go to your FV settings, enable disable plugins, and make sure NIH Money Tree is enabled. So save settings. And now let's go back to the plugin and do the setup for this plug to harvest instant grow fountain and bumper cars that I want to do for the demonstration purpose of this plugin. First, in this white box here for the building code list, I must enter the long-term database name code for instant grow fountain and for bumper cars. And we can find those building codes easily from the FV Farmer building tab. So let's go to FV Farmer under the building tab and look for instant grow fountain. You can see instant grow fountain here. Then just copy this long list database name and paste it over here to this white box. But when you paste over, be careful, you don't want it to paste any empty space behind the code, because empty space is very hard to tell just by looking at it with eyes, and that empty space counts as a character in computer programming, and that would be throwing off the database name and would become completely differently something else. So the plugin or the bot won't be able to read it. So be careful with that. And the one easy way to check it is to highlight the entire code and make sure you don't see any blue empty space behind the code. For example, this one is correct, and let's see, if I push an empty space after, then you can see there's an empty space right here. So this is not correct. This will throw off the database code. So be careful with that. And so you want to make sure the cursor is blinking behind the last letter and no space behind the code. With the plugin, each line can only have one building code. So now we go to the next line to enter the new building code. In this case here, we are going to enter the building code for bumper cars. Again, then we go to FV Farmer and search for bumper cars. But as you can see here, bumper car has, because it's a buildable building, so you have different levels. So here will show the the names for different levels. For example, here is bumper car 2012 and bumper car 2012 expanded 5. Okay, bumper car 2012 is the first level. So we copy it and paste over to the plugin. Make sure no space behind each code. Then go to next line and copy bumper car 2012 expanded 5. Paste over. And this is what you have to do for buildable buildings if they have different levels, because you want to make sure you have covered every level to harvest. Like some buildings you can harvest on different levels, so you want to make sure on that. And then go to the farms tab, the farms tab here. If you want the plugin to rotate every farm, then you simply just click on check on all farms. It will rotate all the 40 some odd farms for you. But in this case here, I'm only rotating for the last 5 farms. That's the last 5 farms that I have the buildings on. Then I click the last 5 farms. And then you hit this button here at the bottom, save buildings and farm and reload state text. Anytime you have added a new building code, or you select a new farm, another farm, or you change your farm or whatsoever, or you change your building codes, then you need to click on this button here, save buildings and farm and reload. Okay, now it's all set. Now let's run my bot and see how the plugin works. As you can see now, NIH Money Tree is working to rotate on the 5 farms that I have choose to collect the buildings data info for the 2 buildings that I have selected, or the 2 buildings that I have entered the codes on. That's what that's what the first bot cycle will do for the plugin, is to collect the building info and the farm info after I push the save building and farm reload state button. And then you want to let bot to continue run another cycle. In this cycle, you should see the plugin NIH Money Tree will now harvest whatever that's already ripe on the farm, the ripe building that I've selected on the farm. See, as you can see here, it's rotating the farms and harvesting the insect growth fountain, harvesting the bumper cards when they are ripe. And again, it's the same thing like in game. When these buildings are harvested, then you can get the links to share with whatever they are, either the coins, or in this case you might get turbos to share. Then you get those links to share with FE links. Okay, second cycle is completed, and then you want to run another cycle again for the plugin to update the building info for each of the farm. See, now you can see the NIH Money Tree is correctly listed all the information that I have for the buildings that I selected after the harvest. It will show the ripe percentage for each building. And now let's refresh the plugin page, and you should see the plugin now reflects the correct building info for the buildings that I have selected for the 5 farms. I want to mention that this plugin is one of the few that you want to keep it enabled all the time in FB settings, so automatically when the buildings are ripe, it will harvest the buildings automatically without you going into the farm every day or every week or whatsoever. When the time ripe to harvest, to go into your farm to do the harvest, the plugin will automatically do it for you. I want to mention something. If you have accidentally harvested any of the buildings that you have set NIH money tree to harvest, either by bot or by hand, then what you need to do is you need to again to clear the state and building text again at the bottom and allow the plugin to run again three cycles to collect whatever the information that's needed to update. And that concludes the lesson for this plugin. Thank you.